For over a century, the blueprint of global subjugation remained predictable. Dictators and financial cartels anchored their leverage in heavy industry, oil reserves, and central banking. If you controlled the flow of crude oil, like Rockefeller, you controlled the velocity of industrial history. But as we cross the threshold of the late 2020s, the world's primary architects have diagnosed a fundamental vulnerability in their control matrix. Capital can be stored in digital vaults. Biological data can be uploaded to cloud servers. But the ultimate constraint on human rebellion has always been, and will always be, the physical caloric intake required to keep the baseline population alive. While the public's attention is systematically hijacked by hyperpartisan politics and algorithmic culture wars, an unprecedented real estate consolidation is quietly taking place. One man, completely detached from the traditional agricultural sector, has quietly weaponized his multi-billion-dollar liquid wealth to become the largest private owner of farmland in the United States. Bill Gates. This is not a philanthropic investment in sustainability, nor is it a hedge against inflation. This is the structural blueprint for a new historical epoch, the synthetic harvest, a permanent, algorithmic enclosure of human survival. To comprehend the magnitude of this silent deployment, let us analyze the hard geopolitical data. Bill Gates currently holds absolute title over more than 242,000 acres of prime American agricultural soil across dozens of states, from the fertile delta of Louisiana to the high-yield fields of Nebraska and Washington. To the untrained eye, this looks like asset diversification. To a data curator tracking the long-term cycles of elite capital, it represents something far more calculated, the consolidation of a caloric monopoly. Throughout feudal history, the monarchies did not need to police every thought of their peasants, they simply owned the land that produced the wheat. If the serfs grew disobedient, the food supply was choked at the source. In the modern era, the hidden elite are executing the exact same structural play, but with an advanced computational twist. By transitioning ownership of the literal foundations of life away from multi-generational family farmers and into centralized private holding companies, the sovereign elite are inserting themselves as the ultimate gatekeepers between human biological necessity and the food supply chain. But owning the soil is only the first layer of the enclosure. The true technoir mastery lies in rewriting the code of the food itself. Under the umbrella of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, hundreds of millions of dollars are funneled into agricultural biotech firms, aiming to replace natural, open-source agriculture with proprietary genetic intellectual property. Through highly advanced CRISPR gene editing tools and synthetic biology, these organizations are engineering crops that are designed to survive simulated climate volatility. But there is a dark financial catch built into these breakthroughs. These genetically optimized seeds are strictly patented. They are intellectual property. Under strict corporate licensing agreements, farmers are legally prohibited from saving or replanting seeds from their own harvests. Every single planting season requires a brand new transaction, a mandatory subscription to the corporate mothership. The natural cycle of Earth's flora is being aggressively phased out, replaced by a closed-loop digital ecosystem where nature itself becomes a copyrighted asset. The architectural logic of the synthetic harvest extends far beyond the crop fields, it targets the entire protein infrastructure of Western civilization. Look at the aggressive regulatory and media campaigns targeting traditional animal husbandry. Under the banner of carbon mitigation and global climate mandates, the baseline population is being conditioned to view traditional livestock farming as an existential threat to the planet. Simultaneously, the capital flows reveal the true objective. Gates and his allied venture funds have deployed massive capital into synthetic biology startups like Impossible Foods, Beyond Meat, and Upside Foods, companies specializing in lab-grown, bioreactor-cultivated bioreactor protein and cell-cultured meats. This is not about planetary health, it is about capital centralization. You cannot patent a natural cow grazing on an open field. It is a decentralized, unmonopolizable resource. But you can patent a highly complex synthetic chemical formula for lab-grown meat synthesized inside an expensive, centralized facility. By shifting human nutrition from decentralized nature to centralized corporate factories, the elite are turning dinner into a proprietary data stream. Where is this dystopian framework being battle-tested? To understand the global scaling model, we must look at the expanding legal and economic sandboxes across the developing world. In regions across sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, the Gates Foundation has deployed a strategy known as the Green Revolution. Under the guise of solving global hunger, local agricultural networks are forced into debt cycles to purchase foreign synthetic fertilizers, chemical pesticides, and patented hybrid seeds. Once the local, resilient agricultural ecosystems are thoroughly disrupted and dependent on foreign technological inputs, the sandbox architecture is complete. The local populations lose their self-sufficiency and are integrated into a globalized logistics ledger controlled by Western technocrats. If a sovereign nation steps out of line with international regulatory frameworks, their agricultural software inputs can be modified or delayed with the stroke of a key in a corporate boardroom in Seattle or Geneva. Survival is transformed from a basic human reality into an adjustable variable. As the caloric supply is successfully digitized, it converges seamlessly with the technologies we uncovered in our previous investigations. Recall the multi-billion-dollar investment by Jeff Bezos into Altos Labs, seeking to rewrite the human epigenetic clock to achieve biological immortality. These two empires are two sides of the exact same coin. While Bezos automates the biological hardware of the elite, Gates is capturing the raw resources that fuel the baseline population. Advanced data analytics models suggest that in the near future, synthetic food streams will not merely provide calories, they will be engineered with specific biodigital markers. By utilizing data harvested from your smart home devices, wearable health trackers, and retail data profiles, the synthetic food infrastructure can be personalized to regulate your biological output. Your health, your hormonal balance, and your reproductive longevity will be directly dictated by the specific tier of the corporate food subscription you can afford. The baseline population becomes completely dependent on the elite's synthetic harvest just to maintain cellular functionality. Throughout the long arc of human civilization, the elite and the peasant shared a fundamental reliance on the uncurated cycles of nature. Rain fell equally on the Rockefeller estates and the small-scale farmer. The soil yielded crops based on the laws of physics, not the laws of corporate copyright. The synthetic harvest permanently shatters this baseline equity. If current capital trends continue uninterrupted, the next century will witness the total elimination of natural food autonomy. Society will fracture along a stark biological fault line, a sovereign elite with exclusive access to organic, natural, nutrient-dense resources grown in private, hypersecure sanctuaries, and a baseline population restricted to heavily processed, patent-protected synthetic calories engineered by computational networks. When the elite own the land, copyright the seeds, synthesize the protein, and regulate the distribution, the moral foundation of human freedom ceases to exist. We are no longer discussing a benevolent billionaire trying to optimize global philanthropy. The rapid consolidation of America's agricultural infrastructure is the final, structural layer of a permanent matrix of control. The elite have mapped your financial assets through BlackRock, your digital identity through Palantir, your mind through Neuralink, and now, they are locking down the literal chemical fuel that powers your heartbeat. The global order is being aggressively rewritten by capital and proprietary data. Whoever controls the calories controls the consciousness of the planet. Welcome to the end of human history, where the Earth is a private playground, your nutrition is an intellectual property subscription, and your access to life is simply a line of code they can choose to terminate. Subscribe to Wealth Wisdom Man, and unlock the clinical matrix of the hidden elite.